Oh, here is another tailor-made sketch. And so this is another character I've worked with before. And so I'm fairly used to working with them. And they're one of my favorite facial structure ones. So I tried to reflect that from the reference I'm used to things from them and trying to recall the um, how I translated that into my style through the other previous commissions. So always a full nose and that squarish type facial structure, and of course the long hair. And I always, I do still, I feel I always try and go flowy with things. Like I just need to be flowy with it. So, so with this, but it's also just a reference. But I think I could have managed to pull off more a flowy, dynamic feel. Sometimes I feel my character sheets be just too on point, like too face forward. So but it that's why these are just sketches, and that's why I pitch them as sketches. Um, because I'm not meant to spend so much time getting the exact look right. So with this, I kept switching back and forth with the body and the head. So the client wanted the front view, back view, and a headshot. And I really wanted the headshot to. So with headshots, I feel it's important to do a side view so you can really see the facial structure, because you can only see so much with a front view and flat coloring and no shading. So a side view in these type of uh, character sheets where it's just flat color, I feel it's necessary to really get a feel of that character. Excuse me, of how to interpret them in whatever piece you're doing. So I'm really glad. So every time a client orders a headshot, I immediately make at least one of them a side view to really show the facial structure. And so, see, you see, I added some kind of flow to the hair. I just had to add something. So they also wanted fashion, and they wanted it inspired by, I believe, Indian, um, that region, that Asian region. Oh, God. Oh, sorry. But you see, so I I don't think I really looked at reference. I just um looked up the because they wanted masculine, and but I didn't want it to be just a typical a naga outfit of just the top portion. So even though I think it did kind of was still heavy on the top portion, but so I still tried to switch it up. Um, and I think I mentioned this in a previous video where if someone does mention a particular culture as the inspiration, I try to literally just have the culture be just the inspiration and not do an actual copy of exactly what's only in that culture. So kind of like reinventing it in a type of way. Um, as best as I can, like have its elements there, but not be an actual reflection, not be an actual representation of that full. And that's why it's inspired by. I always try to aim for the outer out the box type things, because it's just out the box is just more enjoyable for me. It's just more entertaining rather than the same old same old. So and this is also Fatigo. Fatigo. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I always do it differently with this character. But I think after all this time, I actually do kind of have a set process with adding, because all that the Fatigo and the snake vibes are always the biggest time consumer with this character. It's like, God damn, I have to do these damn spots sometimes. Um, but then I'm like, so with the spots, I usually just block them out with the base color and then use the layer effects to add the outer glow. Because that seems to cut out a lot of time. So, and it is still just a sketch, so, but then I kind of go back and touch it up, just a little maybe. But I try not to because it is just a sketch. So it's like I want to be fair to both myself and the client, rather than just be fair for the client, because I feel it's like a both sides should be fair. So that's why I try not to get carried away. And and so here's the final. Um, so I really wanted to explore the jewelry too. So I'm hoping the client likes it still. It's pretty old, but thank you so much. Bye.